Thank you, Mataji. Where is Prabhuji today, Mataji?
He's playing Hare Krishna.
Acha, oh, he was playing the mridang. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please have humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. How are you, Maharaj?
Doing okay?
Grand Nursing Chaturdasi celebrations?
Yes, that was very nice, Abhishek. And also the yagya.
Also,
Nice.
we didn't see the yagya, but we could see the Abhishek. We saw. Most of us saw Prabhuji. Maharaj. It was so nice. And I don't know how was the hall atmosphere without all the devotees, but still the kirtan was very loud, what we could hear.
Yeah, it was on the altar, it was full. Just outside there were less devotees.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
On the altar it was basically the same. The pujaris were there.
Okay. Oh. Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. We can start, Maharaj.
Okay. So then we will be reading from Harinaam Cintamani, and we will be reading from the chapter 5. Then it offers Devantare Santar Paradha to consider names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. So to consider names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Glory to Lord Chaitanya, life of Gadadhar. Glory to Lord Nityananda, the love of Jahnava-Devi. Glory to Advaita, the husband of Sita. Glory to Shrivas and all the other devotees of the Lord. Respectfully folding his hands, Haridas then said, O Master of the worlds, please hear of the second offense. Lord Vishnu is a supreme non-dual truth. His form is spiritual. He is always situated in pure goodness. Lord Krishna, who enjoys pastimes in Goloka, is the best of all truths. He is the reservoir of all rasas. He is decorated with 64 auspicious qualities. 60 of these qualities are manifested in Lord Narayan's form. The same 60 qualities are manifested in Lord Vishnu's pastimes also. The same 60 qualities are manifested in the Purusha avatars and the Swamsha avatars. Lord Vishnu's Vipinamshas, or the separated potencies, are of two kinds. Of these two kinds, the individual souls possess 50 of these qualities, in quantity like a drop of a drop. The demigods headed by Lord Shiva always possess these 50 qualities in greater quantity. 5 more qualities are also wonderfully present in them. These 50 or 55 qualities are fully present in Lord Vishnu. This all scriptures say. 5 more qualities are present in Lord Narayan. No one else ever possesses these qualities. Lord Vishnu possesses 60 of these qualities. He is the Supreme Lord. The demigods headed by Lord Shiva are all his servants. The demigods headed by Shiva are all Vibhunamshas. They are the best of the individual souls. Lord Vishnu is the master of all the individual souls and the master of all the demigods. Very ignorant people who think that demigods are equal to Lord Vishnu do not understand the truth about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Vishnu is the supreme controller in this material world. The demigods headed by Shiva are servants who carry out Lord Vishnu's command. Some people say that when it comes into contact with Maya's 3 material modes, the impersonal Brahman becomes the demigods. The conclusion of the scriptures is that Lord Narayan is the supreme object of worship. Following his command, Brahma and Shiva create and destroy the material universe. People who neglect Lord Narayan and worship the demigods instead remain plunged in the world of birth and death. Some people may say, I know very well that Lord Shiva is the Supreme Lord. I know that the Vedas say that Lord Vishnu is present everywhere in this material world. Therefore, Lord Vishnu resides in all the demigods. Therefore, when one worships the demigod, one worships Lord Vishnu also. To speak these words is forbidden. They are not the teachings of the scriptures. To worship the demigods in this way is forbidden. Lord Vishnu is present everywhere in this material world. That you certainly may say. The truth is that by worshipping Lord Vishnu, one also worships all the demigods. If one waters the roots, the tree's roots, the whole tree will flourish. However, if one waters only the leaves and not the roots, the tree will die. Therefore, if I neglect the demigods and worship only Lord Vishnu, by that action I attain the result of worshipping all the demigods. From ancient times, the Vedas have honored this rule. Fools who neglect this rule are headed for trouble. With the arrival of Kali Yuga and with the entrance of the misleading Mayavada theory, the people thinking them equal to Lord Vishnu now worship many demigods. Each demigod grants a specific boon, but Lord Vishnu grants all boons. He is the protector and maintainer of all. If the people filled with material desires knew the truth, they would turn from the worship for demigods and attain the boons they wish by worshipping Lord Vishnu. So far, now we see just how demigod worshipping is addressed and actually what it means. So worshipping the demigods is not recommended. Worshipping the demigods as the demigods that we want some boons from them, it's prohibited. Now, understanding that the demigods are servants of the Lord, so worshipping them as Vaishnavas is not prohibited. So this has to be the understanding. So worshipping the demigods, thinking that we can get some benefit, then it's useless. We see Hiranyakashipu, he was greatest of the demons. He was very powerful. And he was so powerful that actually attracted the attention of Lord Brahma. So he could get any boon of Brahma. And he wanted to be immortal. But then we see that Brahma himself told him, I cannot give you immortality because I am myself not immortal. So Hiranyakashipu got whatever boons he wanted to, thinking that that's enough to guarantee me this immortality, and then he failed. So Brahma is the most powerful demigod, but he's also a Jeeva, and he is also limited in his resources. So that's pointless. So what is the point of worshipping any other demigod? And if you want to worship all the demigods, then there are 33 crores of demigods. That means 330 million demigods. And they all have some function which they control, something in the universe, the macrocosmos or microcosmos. So they have all functions, and without something functioning, something else will go wrong. So you would have to please them all. But how would you do that? How would you do the worship of a 330 million demigods? How many demigods can you worship a day? Right? If you do some quick puja, say, okay, you can do 100 pujas a day. So then how long will it take you? It will take you then 3.3 million days to worship them all? And how long do we live? Right? So we will not be even able to worship the demigod even once in our lifetime, all of them. Because you have 365 days in a year. And then if we say we live until hundreds, but that's overstretched already. You will, as a small baby, you cannot do much. No, anyway, as an old man, you cannot do much. Then say you get like a 60 years of some effective age, you can do something. So 60 times, not 360, it's not very much, right? So we will not be able to worship them. And then what happens if we worship one demigod and you don't worship the other one? Then there may be some jealousy. We see the example of when the Brishbasis started to worship Govardhan instead of Indra. Well, Indra got upset. So there is no point in trying to please them all, because we will not be able to do that. Instead, we should look into who or what is the root of all the demigods. But then we have to take the proper source, which are the Vedas. And the Vedic scriptures, they talk about who is the source of all the demigods. So again, I think we talk about it. That's the descending way of acquiring knowledge. You learn, you accept, and you function on that, accept it as a principle that Vishnu, he is the source of all the demigods, and fill the details, how you worship the Lord, and then from that, then everybody else gets the share, and everybody will be happy. If we try to do it, modern science works on the principle of the ascending knowledge, right? They like to research, they like to discover things. Well, it's all faulty. How do you know it's right? Based on what? You cannot know. So therefore, that knowledge will not work. Like we have the difference between Ayurvedic physician and allopathic physician. Ayurvedic physician, then he will check what's imbalance in your body, and he gives you medicine to balance the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. He doesn't really need to know what disease you may have. He will restore the balance, and the body will naturally take care of whatever disease that is. The allopathic medicine, they need to go into details. They don't know the principle. So what is the detail? Oh, you have fever. So here's the fever medicine. You have a cough. This is a cough medicine. Oh, you have this. Okay, this is the medicine for this. So they will go to all the symptoms, what you have, try to cover them all by some anti-symptom medicine, and then thinking that you are cured. But all you get, basically, you cover the symptoms, so it looks like you are okay, but the root is still not removed, the root of the disease. So if you try not to worship the demigods, then the root of the demigods, he's not satisfied. He is not being worshipped. So you cannot get the boon. And the demigods, then them being Jivas, they cannot give you boon beyond this material world. Like I remember once we were going around Govardhan, and it was past Anior, towards the tail, and I saw there were some people, some old lady was feeding monkeys. I was giving some chola to the monkeys. So, and then all monkeys happy. No, they were nice monkeys, and they were taking and eating. And now there were many of them. And then the lady finished the chola and fine, going. Now they were going past the monkeys, and suddenly, like at the end of the whole group of the monkeys, there was one big monkey sitting on the side of the road. Then the lady was accompanied by few men, like some family. So as the lady was walking, then the monkey from the side of the road, then like just stood up and started to walk towards the lady. She was walking peacefully. No, the monkey was walking peacefully. And the monkey came to the lady and grabbed on her sari and sat down. And now what? The lady could not go. The monkey was holding very strong on the sari and looking at the lady like, and what about me? You are feeding of all the small monkeys, but what about, I'm the boss here. So the man understood it. Just, they quickly got something, fed the monkey. Monkey just peacefully just walked away, and then everything was fine. So it's our foolishness that we think that we can get away with satisfying our senses, and we use the demigods to do that. The worst part is that among the Hindus, the Hindu community, we still think kind of like that, oh, they are worshipping demigods. But the pujas, how they do, it's all useless. They don't know how to do it anymore. So they are not even getting the standard of the cleanliness, the purity, how the yaga should be done, to actually be able even to satisfy the demigods. It's all just socializing. The samskaras, how they perform, they don't have power. There is no change of consciousness. We were in Kashi for like some Sanskrit course, and there were the smartas, right, running it. It's a RSS. No RSS. It's the Sanskrit Bharati. So they run. They are the smartas. Now, when you see them, the new generation of the like smarta brahmanas, some of them even don't take bath in the morning. They would go into the class without taking bath, without brushing teeth. That's smarta. So smartas now who are supposed to be following all the rules and regulations very tediously, because now through that they get some benefit. They don't even know what the basic rules are. What we follow in Iskcon, it's far beyond what they understand. Getting up in the morning, it's not there. Taking bath in the morning, no. So these are the rules given by Srila Prabhupada. So we are now like a topmost. So how can we even think of worshipping the demigods? Why would the demigods come? What for? There is nothing for them to take. We don't have anything to offer to them. We don't know the means how to offer. We don't have the purity and the cleanliness for them even to take it, to touch it. So it's non-existent. It's not possible. The only way how we can offer is Lord Vishnu and through bhakti. There's no other way. So that we should understand. We should not think that we are so eligible to do that, that we can worship all these 33 crores of demigods and get everything whatever we wanted. Doesn't exist. So the only way what we can do, really, to pray to Lord Vishnu, that he can then fulfill our desires, if we want that. But even that, no, Sakama Bhakti. I have a desire. I'm working for my desire, but I understand that everything comes as a sanctioning of the Paramatma, so Lord Vishnu, and therefore I should be grateful to Lord Vishnu, and therefore the results of the activity I should offer it to him. That's Sakama Bhakti. So if we do that, then we will get what we want, and we will also perform then bhakti, certain level, basic level of bhakti. But we see Srila Prabhupada talks in Bhagavatam, in Dhruva Maharaj's story. Dhruva Maharaj, then he was upset with his father. And him being Kshatriya, he said, okay, I'll get the revenge. I will get kingdom bigger than the whole universe, kingdom bigger than Brahmas. And I will also get revenge on my stepmother because she made me upset. So now with that, then he pursued this goal, and through the Narada's Muni instructions, who knew that he has such a determination, so he can make him pursue bhakti, but it was a Sakama Bhakti. Dhruva Maharaj did everything for the reason because he wanted to satisfy the material desire. But Narada Muni being so perfect, he knew how to do it, and therefore he instructed in a certain way, and it worked. And Dhruva Maharaj, when he got the result of his worship, and then Lord Vishnu himself comes and gives him darshan, then of course Dhruva Maharaj immediately dropped all the desires he had, and he became pure devotee. He became fully surrendered to the Lord. But then after the darshan, then because he was purified, then he started to lament. And what was his lamentation? His lamentation was, okay, the Lord is so pure and he is so merciful. Why was I so foolish that I was trying to worship him through material desires? That was very foolish of me. And Srila Prabhupada comments at that point, if we don't want to end up lamenting, like Dhruva Maharaj, then we should not worship the Lord for materialistic desire. So, it's okay in the beginning, but we should not remain on the platform of Sakama Bhakti. We should pray to the Lord, we should pray to the Vaishnavas, we should see what we can do, so then we come to the platform of higher platform. So, Nishkama Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. These are the ultimate goals which we want to achieve. And then, so we have to figure out how it's a relationship, right? So in the relationship, instead of thinking us being the center and I want not to take the facility of the Lord through the demigods or whatever for myself because I want to be pleased, then we should start thinking about what can I do for the Lord to be pleased. Understanding that if he is pleased, naturally I will be very pleased. So these are the aspects which we should be looking into. Those are the most important. So it's not that Sakama Bhakti is bad, but it's a beginning stage. So in that we may still think, okay, I'm doing that for my own no pleasure, materialistic desires. Okay, it's all right in the beginning. But you should think about, how can I please the Lord? Because the Lord, He is always with me, no matter what situation, good times, bad times, He's always with me. And He is upon me. So for that, I can be really grateful to Him. So how can I repay His affection for me? And then we can start asking, what can I do? What He likes for Him. And that way, then we will get more of our understanding. That's when the consciousness elevates, able to understand more clearly than what we can do. Yeah, like festival comes, right? We have Nishma Chaturdasi. So what can we do? What can we do to please the Lord? Rather than what can we do? Let's make a party and satisfy ourselves. These are just simple points. They may be seem like very basic, but those points make the difference in the consciousness. I'm doing this because of I'm trying to please the Lord. Of course, it may not be absolute immediately, but eventually. Once we were going with Bhakti Arjava Maharaj in Assam. He does the tribal preaching. So one day we stay overnight in one village there. Many devotees there. There was one very like a scholarly devotee. He used to be Christian. He was translating Bible into the local tribal language, and then he actually took up Vaishnavism and then started to translate Bhagavad Gita into the local language. He did. So in that village, in the morning, then we would go around to see the devotees. How are they doing? What are they doing? So we come to like one family, like a group of huts, just the mud huts, very simple people. They don't have even running water. They have to still go into the kua to get water for whatever they need, cooking and bath. So we come there, and there was the house was empty, and there was one lady, and young lady, and she was crying. So immediately, okay, what's happening? Why is she crying? Is it something wrong? No, what is it? So there were some people around, and they explained. Now, okay, Bhakti Arjava Maharaj also, he gave to all the families, all the the families there, then he would give like a small altar, picture of Radha Madhava, Panchatattva, Nrsimhadev, and Jagannath to worship, and he instructs you worship them, whatever you have. Maybe you don't have anything, just cup of water, put the tulsi leaf, and offer that. And then whatever you have, some fruits or you cook something, offer that also. But every day, just do this. Simple worship, very straightforward and easy. Anybody can do. They don't actually even cups in Assam. They make cups from bamboo. So they cut the bamboo and then one section and they use it as a cup. So fine, okay. So she was offering that, but she was also crying. Now, inquiring then, why is she crying? Then it came out that she was actually crying because she felt so bad that she cannot offer to the Lord anything more than water. So she's offering the water, and she's crying that she has nothing more to offer to the Lord. So the level of her devotion was very deep. It was just some simple village lady. No, you don't have to go far. I mean, these devotees are everywhere. They know what to do.
It's like that. It's like the devotee Maharaj whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met, who was crying reading Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Or there was also the in Chaitanya Lila, there was the Govinda Das's son who was offering the prasad, the bhoga to the deities, but he didn't know how to offer it. So he insisted the deity must come and eat. And same happened to Namdev. There was during the time of Gyaneshwar, there was a small boy and offering to Panduranga the bhoga. He didn't know how to do it, so he insisted that he has to eat it. Otherwise, if he doesn't eat, he cannot eat, and he is hungry. So it's very nice reciprocation. So yes, there are the devotees like that. They are everywhere. So we have to understand that to develop the bhakti, it's not impossible. But we have to be less selfish. We have to look into then what we can do. We have to get more into the sadhu sangha, get more into understanding and want to understand what we can do. And really, the devotion can come just by offering water and tulsi leaf. No, it's not very complicated. It doesn't have to be crores of rupees. It can be just by any means. Anybody can afford that. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. That's what Krishna says. That's what it works. But what is the mentality behind it? What is the consciousness? So that's these are very important aspects. Okay. The conclusion of the scriptures is that Lord Narayan is the supreme object of worship. Following his command, Brahma and Shiva create and destroy the material universe. Okay, no. A grihastha who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu should unhesitatingly worship Lord Vishnu with his every deed. Chanting Vedic mantras in various rituals, samskaras, beginning with the Garbharana samskara and ending at the cremation ground, he should worship Lord Vishnu. Following the command of the Vedas, he should worship Lord Vishnu and the Vaishnavas. To the demigods and Pitris, he should offer the remnants of what was offered to Lord Vishnu. So here, in a nutshell, then basically Haridas Thakur is giving us the instruction to follow the Satkira Saradipika, written by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. These are the samskaras, which are Dashavida samskaras. Samskaras given to do for our children. Because these samskaras themselves are not spiritual. These samskaras also do not bring one to spiritual world. But these samskaras then keep the child or place the child into a conducive situation in which then it will be easier for him to eventually go back to Godhead. So the child, the samskaras are about give the child better health, give the child more ability to develop good qualities like focus, determination, to protect the mother, to be able that the child is properly nourished. So these samskaras then give better qualities to the children. That's why the Dvijas always perform the samskaras. Because they know it's like saving some money for the child when he grows up. So the samskaras are also like that. Just you invest into the child. You save up, the benefits of through giving the samskaras, and then he will get the results. But these samskaras, then these are done, or they are successful only when the consciousness of the person changes. It's a ritual, but the ritual leads to change of consciousness. Now, when the samskara is done purely as a materialistic ritual, then the consciousness remains material. But here, Haridas Thakur instructs us we should always, in the samskaras, worship the Lord. So the consciousness is how to worship the Lord and do the samskara. So then the child and the parents get the benefit of getting the material qualities, but at the same time, then getting the ultimate goal, then connecting it to the Supreme Lord. So that's why the samskaras are done. That there is connection to the Lord. So ultimately, the child benefits, and then start doing Garbharana samskara. All the way, all of them. So they are important part of the Grihastha community. And also, when we do like a shraddhas, right, then there is no need to do shraddha other than then you offer to the departed soul Mahaprasadam. So you can put the ashes into a holy river, but even more important is to offer the Mahaprasadam to the departed soul. Accepting that Mahaprasadam, the soul definitely will go to Vaikuntha. So this is the Shraddha. And now when we do the Shraddha, so the Shraddha actually is feast for the Vaishnavas. And by their blessing, then the last portion of the meal, which is there left from the serving, so that's offered to the departed soul. And then through all the blessings of the Vaishnavas, then the departed soul benefits the most. So that's the Shraddha. There is no need for other Shraddhas for the Vaishnavas to do. Therefore, persons who in their worship of the demigods and offering of Shraddha to the Pitris follow the ideas of the Mayavadis perish because of their offense. Thinking the demigods are independent of Lord Vishnu, they commit an offense to the holy name. By that offense, their progress in devotional service is blocked. Persons who think that the demigods headed by Shiva are controllers independent of Lord Vishnu commit a fearful offense. The demigods are manifested from Lord Vishnu's superior potency. The Vedas never say they are independent of him. It's because Lord Krishna has given them the power that Shiva, Brahma, Ganesh, Surya, and Dikpalas have been controllers from ancient times. Therefore, that Lord Krishna is the only supreme controller. I count the demigods among Lord Krishna's potencies. Therefore, turning away from the idea that his true duty is material in nature, the Grihastha should act in a spirit of devotional service. And same thing Srila Prabhupada is saying. Every Grihastha should wake up in the morning, chant rounds, worship the deities. Right? It's a simple worship, but just worship the deities and read scriptures. When there is opportunity, should go to the temple. But these things, and having some sadhana, and the sadhana in mode of goodness, it's conducive for the devotional service. And the activities of chanting of the holy name without offenses, that's the activity which is actually the devotional service. That's the most important. Thinking them as devotional service, he performs the various rituals and samskaras. By offering them the remnants of what was offered to Lord Krishna, he pleases demigods and pitris. So here, this is the solution, right? He performs his samskaras because understanding them as that devotional service. So he does it as a service to the Vaishnava, to the child. But he does it as a devotional service because he wants the child to become a great devotee, and therefore he does it. And the demigods and the pitris being pleased, they also shower blessings on the child and the mother. He avoids worshipping the many demigods and goddesses because they are all devotees of Lord Krishna. They are satisfied with his actions. So the master is worshipped, then naturally all the servants are happy because the master is happy. If the servant is trying to please himself independently of the master, then it's not very long lasting. And many times there is a criminal mind behind, right? No. By worshipping Lord Krishna and the Vaishnavas, he attains all benefits. He does not commit offenses to the holy name. He always chants the holy name. Human beings who in this material world follow the duties of the Varnas walk on the path of piety in their journey carrying this material body. Outcast persons, Antyeja, persons of mixed Varna, mixed birth, Varna Sankara, should renounce all degraded activities and accept the role of Shudras in this material world. Outcasts and persons of mixed birth should accept the role of Shudras because without the four Varnas, one cannot be pious in the world of birth and death. So that's also very important. When we speak of Shudras, we always speak of them like with disgust, some like the word, not very highly, very low class. But Shudras are so elevated that they are able to go back to Godhead. They are within the four Varnas. So it's not shameful to be a Shudra because one can go back to Godhead. One has to be within the four Varnas. And any of the four Varnas, following their duties properly, go back to Godhead. So Shudra's duties are basically to help all the other Varnas in whatever they need, which is not bad. And by doing so, they go back to Godhead. So these are aspects which we have to get over. It's mainly the Indians are so concerned about Varnas and Ashramas. Because as it is, then the Varnashrama system without Krishna in the center, yes, it's not working. Just the birthright, or somebody gets born as a Brahmana, does not mean that he has the qualities of Brahmana. and therefore just he only posing as a Dvija Bandhu or Brahma Bandhu. Not even that. Where is the Brahmana? He is the Dvija of, the Bandhu of. It's nowadays there is no pure Brahmanas or pure Kshatriyas or pure Vaishyas. The piety is gone. So when they get born in such a family, so the qualities, they are not there. But nonetheless, the service to Lord Vishnu is never lost. Even people like that can still perform their duties, can please the Lord, and as a result of that, go back to Godhead. We see now Lord Jagannath, right? He accepts the aborigines. So they're like Antejas, Shabaras. But he wants them to do the service for him during the Rath Yatra. Only them. So they get the blessing, they get the benefit. And they all are liberated. In Ahobilam, there are 9 forms of Nrsimhadev. And one of them is called Pavan Nrsimha. Pavan Nrsimha, now he is a form of Nrsimhadev who he appeared in a tribal family. I think because Lakshmi Devi also was in that family, she appeared there. So now, tribals, what do the tribals do? They don't know what to do properly, how to behave, how to do things. So as a tribals, they only could offer to Nrsimhadev meat, and he would accept it. And to this day, one day a week, they still offer to Nrsimhadev a chicken. And now they are Sri Vaishnavas, they offer him chicken. So, you see, it's not anybody can perform service to the Lord if they want to. But one who understands the higher forms, higher levels of devotion should not make excuses that, oh, I cannot do that. If you have money, you should offer something more. What is your capacity to the Lord? If you are rich and you offer him a glass of water with tulsi, oh, I don't have anything else, okay, just take this. There is not much devotion behind, because you have greater capacity. But if somebody doesn't have anything and offers that, the Lord will accept it. And that's why from the tribals, they don't have anything else, he accepts even the chicken from them. But we should not, and we cannot, make it an excuse. Oh, I can also do that. They do it there, so I will do that also. It's very dangerous. That's when we get completely misled. Okay, we have some few minutes then for the questions, and then we will continue tomorrow. So, any questions?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna devotees. So please raise hand if anybody has questions. Yes, Saurabh Agarwal who has asked the question. Maharaj, he's another one who is very keen interest in all the sanskaras and garbhodhan. He wanted to take a class also. Maybe next he's new devotee in our sangha. So he's very, very keen with all the sanskars and everything. Yes,
Great.
Saurabh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I have 2 questions.
You have to speak loudly, Saurabh Prabhu. Be a little loud. Maharaj, he was also in Mayapur teaching for 2.5 years. 2 years? Saurabh Prabhu, 2.5 years?
No, Guruji. I was in Mayapur for 9 months. In ashram, I was in 2.5
9
months. But
months? 9
in
months.
Mayapur, I was in 9 months. For 9 months. In Smiths.
9. Acha, 9 months.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Uh, Maharaj, like the about qualities in Jeeva. So so whatever the qualities in Jiva are there, so is it like when the Jivas become liberated, the qualities like increase, or they are the fixed qualities for Jiva?
See, the Jiva can have the 50 qualities, but not in full. Now, when the Jiva becomes actually completely purified in the spiritual world, then it will have the 50 qualities in full. That's a pure spirit soul. So that's, but in the material world, it's impossible. It's not possible for the Jiva to manifest all the qualities in full quantity.
Okay.
But we
And
should
Maharaj,
try. We are trying by the samskaras. Then we are trying, to get the good qualities magnified, and the bad qualities, which are through the anarthas become manifested. We try to get those away. So that's the purpose of the devotional service. Yeah.
yes, Maharaj, another question is like, uh, is it that just by following duties of one's varna, one can go back to Godhead, or means is that
If you
correct?
follow your varna and your ashram while worshipping the Lord, you will go back to Godhead. The Daivi, it's very important. Daivi Varnashrama. Because the Daivi Varnashrama, you follow Daivi Varnashrama system, you will be on the Vijnanamaya platform. So you will be on the way to Anandamaya platform, Krishna consciousness. The Vijnanamaya platform, it's, you can say it's like a shower. You come to shower, so you are not clean because you go to the shower, right? Because you are not clean, but you are not dirty because you already started the shower. So you have to get through it to get clean. That's the consciousness. So therefore you are doing the duties to please the Lord. Even though in the beginning it's about yourself, but ultimately we are trying to please the Lord, and that's why the consciousness keeps changing. It's a process. It may take few moments. Dhruva Maharaj, he took 6 months. It may take many years. It may take a lifetime or a few lifetimes, but it's successful. It works. Now, since we have got the opportunity to come across the movement of Srila Prabhupada, then we should not neglect it, and we should really try to take advantage of it and try to go back to this lifetime, not to postpone it for the next lifetimes, just to go now. That's the recommendation. And even this lifetime, how many more years we have, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ahead, still it's a moment. So for that moment, we should try to follow the process of Sarana Bhakti. And there is enough time for us to come to the platform that we will be able to then remember Krishna, be Krishna conscious. Yes?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yes. Jagyadas Prabhu, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, just one query. The verse number between 44 and 45, there are some words written here in the book. Verse between 44 and 45. Earning his livelihood by working within the institution of four Varnas, a resident of the world of birth and death can walk on the path of devotional service. My question is that as we live in the city life, we pursue our own profession.
Mhm.
Is it possible to determine our Varna? As we live in the city life, is it possible to determine our Varna, or in Kali Yuga we are all Sudras?
Look, in this time, here on this planet, there is nobody of a pure Varna. So we have to take it, rather than spending our lifetime try to find out what is our Varna, then accept we are the Das. I am a Das. But Das of whom? I am Das of Krishna. So that should be the predominant. Now in that, I'm serving Krishna. I am actually his servant. So I am a Shudra in a sense. But then what are my capacity? What can I do? First of all, without Krishna's mercy, I cannot do anything. But with Krishna's mercy, what can I do? Maybe I can read something, I can teach, I can preach, or I can manage, or I can take care of cows, agriculture, or I just do services. We should not be worried about it too much. Now, maybe just to this. What is devotees like? No, just a lifestyle, right? He gets up early in the morning, then he takes bath, then chants some japa, then there is Mangalarati, then more japa, then there is reading of scriptures. Then after that, then he cooks and he offers something to the Lord. Offers bhoga and he accepts prasad. Now, whose activities are these? What activities? They are Brahminical activities. Now, others not necessarily do it like that. So, now, the Vaishnava, he should be considered at least as a Brahmana. He follows the Brahminical culture, Brahminical lifestyle. But then after breakfast, he goes, and what does he do? He may do whatever. He may do that preaching, teaching, management, or some business. Or he may just go and clean. But that doesn't matter. He is living the Brahminical lifestyle. He is on the level of a Brahmana. He is Krishna conscious. And whatever he does, the Varna activity, you may say, it's really unimportant because it is for the pleasure of the Lord. There was one temple. And in the temple, there were just a few, I think, couple of brahmacharis. And then there were a few grihastas. And the pujari was grihasta. And he would come to do the Mangalarati then from his house. So he would come always early morning and he would do the Mangalarati. But somehow, there was like a little guest house and the brahmacharis were not doing very good job. So it was not clean. And also the toilets were not clean. So now the pujari, seeing that, then he started to come for the puja earlier. He would come earlier, then he would put gamsha on, clean the toilets, take bath, and then go on the altar to worship the Lord. Now, if you talk about smartas, then it's not possible. They would not, no, smarta Brahmana wouldn't touch a broom. But for the Vaishnava, it's not a problem. Because everything is connected to Krishna. So therefore, he can clean the toilet and still be Krishna conscious. In another temple in Europe, there is one devotee, and he's maybe not like very intellectual. He doesn't give classes, but he sits for the class. He takes the breakfast, and after breakfast, what he does, he just puts on some class or some kirtan, and he does cleaning the whole day. He cleans the temple room. He goes and cleans the guest house, the toilets, the brahmacharya ashram, and the toilets there. He just keeps cleaning. Now, the devotee, I see him as one of the most elevated devotees there. He's very Krishna conscious. You may say he is just Shudra doing that, but he is now very elevated. He is actually Krishna conscious. He's always conscious of Krishna. So it doesn't really matter what activity we choose to do. Whatever it is that we now is natural for us. But what is important that what style, what lifestyle do we follow? And therefore, now we follow the style, the culture Srila Prabhupada gave us. Now, if you have a devotee, right, and he does not get up in the morning, he does not chant his rounds, he does not offer anything to the Lord, he is not doing the arati, he does he does not take prasad, and when he goes and starts sweeping the street, you cannot say that he is a Vaishnava, he is a Shudra. That's what he does. Then because he's not following the lifestyle of a Vaishnava, he's not a Vaishnava. No, he is what he does according to the Varnashrama system. But the Daivarnashrama system, he automatically becomes elevated above the Brahmana level. So that's what Srila Prabhupada gets. That is mercy. That anybody can be elevated above the Brahminical platform. But one must follow the basic principles. The four regular principles, one must follow the instruction, chant the holy name, and associate with the devotees. That makes one Vaishnava. And then what he does afterwards, what he does as for occupation, it's not very important. As long as he maintains the Vaishnava culture, the Vaishnava standards.
Maharaj, in our society, we see there are the Brahminical class, there is the administrative class like Kshatriya, and there is also the merchant class, the Vaishya, the businessman class. We see them. And also we see them, the Sudra class, who serve all the three above. So
yes.
If let's say the merchant class or the Vaishya class, they do devotional service as well as they are the devotees. Also, they do their own profession. So we can say that in Varnashram, they are Vaishya as well as they are the devotee and they are the Vaishnava. Can we say that?
Yes. And because they are following the lifestyle of a Vaishnava, they are above the Brahmana in the Lord. So there is no need not to really point out that he is a Brahmana, is a Shudra. No, there is no need because so he's a Vaishnava who is teaching, who is preaching. He is a Vaishnava who cleans toilets, who cleans, who sweeps. It's not a problem. Shamananda Pandit, he got perfection. He got actually darshan of Srimati Radharani by him sweeping Savakunj, but he was sweeping the Savakunj now with the consciousness that he did not want Radha every night to get hurt. So every little rock, every thorn, everything has to be swept properly. And it's sand. I don't know if you ever tried sweeping in the sand. It's very difficult. But that was his consciousness. He just swept the whole day so that they don't get hurt when they come at night. So with that consciousness, then he got attraction. He got attracted, Srimati Radharani. He attracted Srimati Radharani. So she herself organized, she arranged, so then he can get her darshan. Because of the consciousness. So the consciousness, Krishna consciousness, can come through sweeping, or through cleaning toilets, or through teaching, or through management, or business. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just like a vehicle, what you can do to be Krishna conscious. It doesn't mean also that when you are like a big Brahmana, that you are automatically Krishna conscious. The person who is a Shudra, he may be more Krishna conscious than the greatest Brahmana. So that's what we have to be careful about. That it's the attraction to the holy name, attraction to the Lord, which determines who is a devotee and who is not.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Devotees, does anybody has any other question? Okay. No more questions, Maharaj. But thank you for clarifying that second offense, Maharaj, you clarified very well today. Thank you so very much. I'm very grateful. I thought it was just a small one, but you explained in such wonderful detail. So thank you so very much, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, devotees. So evening we have His Grace Shrutakirti Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. So we will hear from him from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. And then tomorrow afternoon we will have again Priti Vardhan Maharaj continuing Harinaam Cintamani. So thank you so very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Prabhupada.